Well, hello, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. This is Tuesday. I don't know when you're watching this, and I don't really care. It's going to be a great day for you no matter when you're watching it, but it is a Tuesday for us. So hi, everybody. Glad that you're here this morning. If you are hopping on, we want to hear from you. Don't tell us where you're from. I'm like, whatever. So I want to ask you this question. What is the song that you can't stop singing right now? What is your go-to song? What is the song that if you hear it on the radio, you have to turn it up? When you get in your car, you have to plug in your Bluetooth and make sure it's playing. What is the song? There's one that's running through my head so much. And I got up this morning at, I don't know, I guess it was 5 something, and had to get out my phone and Google the lyrics because I have to make sure the lyrics are correct because I'm singing it in my head so much. It's like an earworm. But what is yours? I really want to know. So as you're coming on this morning, tell us. I got a heart like a truck. It's been, yeah, that's a good one right there. Pretty woman. My Lord, where are you listening to music at? The 70s? No, I'm not even going to say Katie Van Antwerp's. I'm not even going to say what she said because we're not even going to speak that. Not today, Satan. Okay? Not today, Baby Shark. I just wrote a song called Unleash Your Inner Radiance, and it's stuck in my head. Oh, nice to have something that you wrote stuck in your head. Very nice, very nice. Jumpin' by Pitbull, okay,
Aunt Melba's on?
Which is, by the way, interestingly enough, written by the whitest woman I've ever met in my life, Shannon Browning. Flowers by Miley Cyrus, I will admit, is very catchy. Very, very catchy. I'm not going to say Joanna's because I think she's on something. Joanna's is, it's not a song I've heard of, but I'm going to be looking it up after. And Andrea's is Fancy Like Applebee's. Okay, so do you have one? Do you have a song? And it doesn't have to be an earworm, but something that you like it when you're in the car alone by yourself. Of course, you're like a book listener, but...
I have songs running through my head like nonstop. So when you said, do you have a song running through your head? Mine was running. And
we never know when it, we never know when it ends. Okay.
Tennessee Orange is good.
Why are you saying that?
Because I saw a couple weeks.
Yeah, he's saying that because the girl that sings it is cute as a bug. Notice that David's not, David. I'm wearing Tennessee Orange for him.
Okay.
Look at his face. He knows she's cute.
Yes, that is a good song. What is there's a Morgan Wallen song talking about wearing the team colors, or she's from Alabama or something.
Yeah. Now she knows I don't know.
I think I was thinking of that song, though. I do know that song. I wouldn't even be able to pick that girl out of a lineup, so.
Oh, let me tell you something. If she was in a lineup, you'd be able to pick her out. Okay.
Even not knowing she sang that song.
Even not knowing she sang that song, you'd be like, I don't know what number 4 did, but let's talk about it. All right. Speaking of lineups, I don't even know what that's a terrible segue. David took Rocco, our 15-year-old, into town yesterday for something. David, go.
He got his picture taken, if that's a hint. Rocco actually got his driving permit, learner's permit yesterday. So he had done the classwork or whatever and taken the test and actually done real well, very surprisingly, on the test. And so he is official. He is legal. He is legal now.
Now, not a 16-year-old driver with a license.
Oh, I said learner's permit.
Yeah, just a learner's permit. Yeah. Interesting thing, though, about that is to me, maybe you guys have noticed this. When I was growing up, the day you turned 15, you went for that permit. The day you turned 16, you went for that license. But nowadays, kids don't. And I don't understand why.
Well, Rocco's a month in. The only reason why he didn't, you have to do this class stuff. And he would have had to do the class stuff in the summer, and that was a no-go, and so he did it as soon as school started. So, I mean...
Okay, let me ask y'all this. When we were growing up, did they even have learner's permit, like, did anything happen when we were 15? I'm not remembering that. I don't remember that. I just remember getting my license at 16. I'm sure I did have a learner's permit.
Yeah, there's like a year there that you...
But I don't remember that at all. But I also don't remember them making it so hard on us. I remember taking a driver's ed class, but it was like 3 weeks long. And it was every day after school for like 3 weeks. And then you were done. I mean, you took a test. Like you went up and you took a test with the police officer or the sheriff's deputy or whatever. I failed 3 times. But I don't remember like the written test being super hard or anything like that. It's 16 in New York just for the permit. Elizabeth was 18. And the test was at the DMV. I do remember that. But why these kids are now like pushing it back and pushing it back? My kids, like Remy wanted hers at 16. She wanted that the day she turned 16. But I'm hearing of kids now at 18, 19, mom and dad still driving them around.
We had a cousin, he didn't get it till he was 20, right?
20 years old. And it was only because he was going to get married.
Yeah. I didn't get that. But
that is so odd to me. And I'm sorry, but if your kid is that way, I feel like that is a you issue. You can be mad at me if you want to, but I'm not going to care. That is a you issue. You are toting them around everywhere you go, and you are breaking your schedule in order to go pick them up from their adult job. That is weird to me, and you need to make your kid get a license. Does anybody agree with me there?
That being said, you don't remember getting trained, you don't remember studying, and your first day you actually drove a car by yourself, you ran into the back of a car. So maybe you're the one that's in the wrong.
I'm not discussing the things I did as a kid. I also stole patio furniture as a young one, okay? Not condoning that either. I'm not talking about the things I did as a kid. I'm saying... Melanie Waltz just wrote, my 19-year-old doesn't even have his learner's permit. And I'm saying, of course I can say this to her, that's a you problem. That is a you problem, Melanie. I mean, but I don't know. Now there's Ubers. Like, why do they need them? They can just get an Uber to take them around everywhere. But yesterday, he came home and he goes, can I get Subway for dinner? Well, David and I were on a 36-hour fast. Which means we started fasting Sunday night at 8 p.m. and then not eating until today at 8 a.m. So I didn't fix dinner. He was really hungry. And of course I said, there's bacon and eggs. Go fix your bacon and eggs. But I didn't want to fix it. So he goes to Subway. Or he goes to see if he can borrow Grandma's car to go to Subway. And he gets Grandma's keys and he is so excited because he's got his permit. And he pulls through the field, the pasture back here, and he pulls into the driveway. And I'm standing there like this. And he rolls down the window and he goes, what's up? And I said, what's up with you? And he goes, I'm going to Subway. You said I could. I said, no. I said, we could. You got this, buddy. Everywhere you go, you got this. So I hopped in the car with him and we went to Subway. And he was like, he felt like such freedom. Like he thought, I mean, he's not 16 yet. It's only 15, right? So he wants to be out driving, but I'm the devil on his shoulder, or the angel, no matter I don't know how you see it. But he's like, wow, this isn't quoted. This is kind of anticlimactic. I was like, yeah, it kind of is. But, but so he got to drive to Subway last night. He was really excited about that. And honestly, I wasn't doing a whole lot of, I wasn't doing a lot of that. I was kind of on my phone.
Well, in honesty, it's not like that's the first time behind the wheel for him. He's driven a fair amount. Anyway, we live a little bit out in the country, and so he's driven more than probably
You may
most.
ask yourself, Radkes, why don't y'all have any cars? I'll tell you. Because one of them is in the shop, and the other one is about 50 yards back behind our house. It was David's truck, and Rocco was driving it the other day out in the pasture to unload some limbs. And he decided this area where it looks real muddy.
And low,
this seems to be a good place for me to park.
I think this is where parking should happen.
And so now it's stuck. It's stuck back there, and we don't know what to do because we're not handy people.
Well, we do know what to do, but
I don't know what to do.
well, I'm hoping it was dry yesterday. It's gonna be dry today. I'm hoping it's dried enough where I can just pull it out. I mean, that I can just drive it out. If not, I'll have to go borrow a tractor to pull it out. But yeah, it's not 4-wheel drive, so that'll be something next time.
Can I be honest? I've been married to you 29 years. I don't think I've ever seen you on a tractor in 29 years. So I would like to be out there videoing when you're on a tractor. David is a lot of things. He can look over a contract and red flag it everywhere, okay? He can sit down at a computer and tell you what you need to do. But a man on a tractor pulling a truck out of dirt, I got a heart like a truck. That is not David. That is not you, and you know that.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I didn't do the kids' baseball field with a tractor. I didn't do their dirt track that we did in the very back when they were little.
I do remember the dirt track. He made a dirt track for their little dirt bikes.
So,
I do remember
I'm not
that.
on one often, but I can drive a tractor.
Okay, well, I bet you're sexy on it. Okay, so Rocco got his permit.
Well, wait, I was going to, speaking of cars, this is something else, and I guess this is just a generational thing. But anytime we've mentioned doing the drag with either one of the kids, they have no concept of what we're talking about. Did you all have a drag when you were in high school, I guess, that you just kind of went and looked for people? I guess that's the thing.
We didn't look for people.
Well, that's why we did the drag, so we could find each other. We would just drive this kind of loop in town until we'd run into each other and go, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, I don't guess they do that. They just pick up their phone and do that. But surely all you had the drag, right?
It's so funny to me because in Lufkin, we did have a drag, and it was around the Lufkin Mall. And then what you had to do was you had to pull out of the Lufkin Mall and then go all the way down Timberland Drive and then come all the way back and then go back around the Lufkin Mall. It wasn't a very long trip. And it's funny if you think about it, honestly, because the reason why we did that, it just doesn't seem feasible that we ever lived in a world without cell phones. So you were like, is that them in that? I think that's them in that black truck. Brent!
Yeah, wow.
Brent! Is that Brent? Is Brent in there? No? Okay. And then, I mean, like that's what you had to do. And that's how we saw each other. And even then, it was like this. I know, what are y'all doing? Okay, all right, bye. And then maybe you would yell out, we'll see you when we come back around. But now their friends are at their fingertips. If I told Remy Radke that we drove around the Lufkin Mall, first of all, she would say, what mall? Because we never go there. But honestly, they would not even know what to do with that because they just know where each other are. Now on Snapchat, you guys, they know where each other are. Like she'll be like, who is Caspin eating sushi with? She only eats sushi with her girlfriends because her dad never eats it. So why am I not at sushi and Caspin's at sushi? Like, that's how they live now. Where was your drag?
There was a Hardee's on one end, and you loop through there, and then you went all the way down this road, and on the other end there was a Sonic, and those were your two turnarounds.
Those were your two turnarounds.
And very interestingly, we would only park on the left-hand side of Sonic, like if you drove through and were coming out. You could not park on the right-hand side.
Well, maybe that's because the poor families wanted to get in and out.
No, the people on the right-hand side we always thought were weird. They were strange. Those were the losers on that side. I have no idea who deemed the left and the right.
If you sit over there, you're in the chess club.
Yeah, I have no idea why that was.
We didn't have a right or left. Okay, that was just for like
fancies.
Yeah. Okay. Is anybody noticing that David is a little hard to hear today? That he doesn't have much of a voice? Anybody noticing that David is a little
raspy?
Raspy. Last night, I don't know what happened. I guess he can tell you.
Well, it started yesterday afternoon, out of nowhere too.
At 4:00. David comes and gets into bed. I come out of the bathroom and he's laying in our bed. That does not happen at 4 p.m. Okay? I swear David would have a punch in and punch out clock here for us if he could find one on sale. He was laying in bed. Well, I laid down beside him and I was like, babe, what's going on? He said, I have a really bad headache. That was at 4. At 5 o'clock, he started throwing up. And he did not stop until 10 o'clock. Non-stop. And y'all,
and not the kind, pleasant.
Oh my gosh.
Like violent. Like I'm sore from head to toe. And literally it must have just burned through my vocal cords.
Honestly, it was horrible. So Rocco, you don't even know this, but Rocco was on the phone in the kitchen when you started throwing up. I was in the hallway and I could hear him. He was just talking on the phone. You started throwing up. He was on the phone with his girlfriend and I heard him go, I'm going to have to call you back. I got to go. Because it sounded like you were fighting something off of you, like you were wrestling a bear. And he comes running down the hall and I said, hey, just leave him alone. He's fine. He's okay. Is he all right? It's just, he's throwing up and he's being dramatic about it. So I do think David knew he had an audience outside, and sometimes you want to play to your audience, and I get that.
Yeah, that's just like me.
Y'all, it was horrible. But the thing I can't figure out is what was the poor man throwing up? We hadn't eaten since 8 p.m. Sunday night. He had nothing in his stomach. Now, he had a lot of water, and he had some black coffee. But it was horrible. It was terrible. And did it come from your headache? Is that what?
The headache came first.
You didn't eat anything and get a bug. I mean,
the headache came first, and then I felt like, ooh, that headache's kind of making me nauseous. I don't think I've ever thrown up because of a headache, though. And then after throwing up for a while, then the headache moved from here to here. So, I don't know.
Well, it was terrible. But I just want to tell y'all that this is the difference in men versus women when they're sick. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that men are terrible when they're sick. Give us your opinion. You tell us if you think men are terrible when they're sick. I'm not. Well, I know.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. Let's just be real transparent. She tried to get out of doing the show this morning. Ain't nothing wrong with her. But yet I'm up. I'm moving. I'll probably crash when it's over. That's the difference in men and women. Mm-hmm. I'm punching in, punching out. And she didn't even want to go.
I'm like, we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do it, David. You don't have any energy. He's like, consistency is key. I'm like, for who? So here we are. But this is the difference in David and I. And I'm willing to admit my faults. I know that I am a large baby child, okay? At 9:30 last night, I asked Rocco to please go get me the throw-up bowl. Do not even crack us. Go get me the throw-up bowl. And he said, okay. I said, it's under the sink in our bathroom. Go get it. He said, okay. So he goes and gets it, and he comes back to the bed, and he reaches across the bed to hand it to David. And I go, that's for me. And he goes, really? And I said, yes. And I started like making myself belch so I could because I was having these phantom pains. These phantom nausea waves?
No, they weren't nausea pains. They were attention pains.
No, they weren't, David. I felt nauseous.
I need some attention.
It wasn't. It was a phantom. David, it was it was sympathy. It was what it was. It was sympathy pains. And I started belching and hanging over this like I thought it was going to be me next. Turns out it wasn't. Turns out I tried real hard, but I couldn't throw up. But
how bad do you need attention when you're willing to make yourself sick and throw up for attention? But yes, men are absolutely babies. I told Melissa, this was after the first or second time I went in, I just kind of laid across the bed and I was pouring sweat. I said, I need you to know right now, I'm not talking about now, but in the future, when I'm in the hospital and I'm really sick, they got to knock me out because I don't want to be here for any of it.
Yeah, he gets real anxious when he gets sick.
Just pull the plug. Just pull the plug.
Well, David, if you go in for COVID, I'm not just going to pull the plug on you. He gets real anxious. But this is another thing that I was going to ask you guys if you do. I hope we don't get pulled down from YouTube for me telling this story. But because I think it might be unlawful, but I'm not for sure. One of the things that is very much in my DNA. It is in my bloodline, okay? The women in my, I'm going to write, it's going to be a chapter in my book, okay? Which, by the way, should be coming out first next year. Anyway, and that is this. When you are sick, someone you love is sick, we, as the Southern women, as the matriarchs of the family, will round up all of the pills that we can from family members, put them all together in our hands, and then ask you to take them. Okay? That's just what we do. So last night, I gotta tell y'all this. I don't even know. I don't even know if you know this.
About the bike?
I didn't know if you knew it or not. Last night I called Meredith. I'm so sorry. I called Meredith and I said, Meredith, do y'all have anything for nausea? David is vomiting. And she said, like Pepto? And I said, no. Prescription. She's like, I'm on it. And I said, this is what I said. Well, I'll have to walk over there and get it. She's across the pasture. I'll have to walk over there and get it. Because my car is in the shop and David's truck is stuck. And she said, oh, well, don't walk over here and get it. Don't worry, I've got Jake's truck. I'll bring it over to you. So I said, Rocco, go sit in the living room and wait for Meredith to pull up at home with your daddy's medicine. I'm just going to lay here by him and make sure you don't need anything. So Rocco is in there for a long time. Rocco is in there for a long time. And I'm thinking, what is she doing? Can she not find it? Finally, I hear Rocco walk out the front door. He comes back in and he walks in and he says, Mom, you should have seen Mara. She was sweating. Her hair was wet on her head. He said she couldn't find the keys to Jake's truck, so she had to ride her bike. Now, y'all don't know this, but to get to my house, it is down a huge hill and up a huge hill. And Meredith had to do it on her bike. But that's what we do for each other, because when someone is sick, we round up all of the pills. So last night, David was laying in bed, and I said, David, I know you get anxious, and I know you're sick at your stomach. Look, I just want you to take these things right here. And I dropped like 6 different colored pills in his hand. And he went like this. He goes, no, I'm not doing that. I said, David, take it. He said, what is this, Melissa? I said, David, listen to me. 2 of them are going to make you sleepy. 1 of them's going to make you not nauseous. The other one's going to help your back. One's going to help your head. And another one's it's like a Valium. It's going to calm you down. David goes, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to play your game. I won't wake up until Friday morning. I'm not going to do it. So you didn't do it, and it made me so mad. Take the dadgum medicine.
The one I did take was the nausea medicine, to which you know how some nausea medicine you take and others you put under your tongue. And I said, this is the nausea medicine. Yeah, I'm sure it's the kind you put under your tongue. So I put it under my tongue, and like 30 minutes later I go, I don't think that was the kind.
He goes like that. This tastes bad in my mouth. I said, well, you know what? Water's free. Get over there and drink your water. And I have to talk to him like that. I'm like, drink your water, drink it all the way down. Do I want to have to talk to him like that? No. But do I have to? Yes. Well, y'all, I'm not going to make him sit here anymore. He is exhausted. Look at him. He's just like a little figment of our imagination. And he's just white as a ghost. So I'm not going to make him sit here anymore. I'm going to let him go get back in bed. And I'm going to lay there just listening to see if I can hear him say anything he might need. But I do know this. I'm now at 39 hours of fasting. 39, okay? I might as well just wait a couple more hours and have done 42.
That's a random number, but yeah. You mean 48?
Oh, 48. What's 48? That's 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't want to wait that long. I'm not going to wait that long. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go eat something. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget your golden moment is here. How are y'all living? How are you even moving forward in your life without my golden moments? Okay? Love y'all. Have a great day.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
I heard someone say this the other day and I loved it. Are you ready? They said, not everyone has access to me because I want peace more than I want attention. Woo! That will preach. Not everyone gets access to me. Sorry, they don't. Melissa, why don't you have a million best friends? Because not everyone gets access to me. You know why? Because as far as me and my life, I want peace more than I want attention. Think on that. See you tomorrow.